So in January 2026, I got kind of real with myself for a minute. I went, girl, are you doing all the things that you really could be doing in your power to see your art business succeed? Or are you just kind of coasting by on the minimum and hoping that something happens? And you better believe the answer was number 2. I was kind of doing the coasting thing, which is fine. Like, sometimes you gotta coast. Sometimes you do not have the energy to push yourself forward. I got pretty real with myself going, hey girl, maybe we're not doing as much as we could to further this, to make this venture real. Like, if you really want this to be something that could be viable full time, you know, you gotta like do something to grow it into that. There's nobody coming to save your art business. This is me talking to me, by the way. And that's true. Like, there's nobody who can draw my art, market my art, like, make any of the stuff pertaining to my art. So I told myself, hey girl, what if you did one scary thing every week? Doesn't matter if it's a big scary thing or a small scary thing, but a scary thing every week this year. Or most weeks this year. And we'll aim to do 50 scary things. And in like the first week of January, I was like, yeah girl, let's get it going. Let's do that. And it was a kind of scary choice to make because I knew that I would have to push myself out of my comfort zone and learn new things on a regular basis. And that was honestly the hardest hurdle to convincing myself to do this. But I also knew that some of the scary things wouldn't be so bad. Putting yourself out there is scary, but it's not the scariest thing in the world. The worst thing that will happen is that someone will say no. But probably not everyone will say no. And that is what is keeping me here. I apologize, my cat is getting comfortable. So we're gonna do a little recap of the scaries that I faced in January. My name is Aiden, I go by Tuesday Online, and it's been so long since I've talked to you. Normally I make art-related content, so if you're here for a drawing video or something, I apologize. This is art-related, but not in the same. Anyway, week 1, the week I decided to do scary things. I got a Munbin thermal label printer for Christmas, and I am eternally grateful for my family member who bought me that. It is a game changer for printing shipping labels and also for printing the stickers for my mail club. I love the idea of the letter looking like the heart emoji, the letter. I'll put it on screen. But that's kind of the inspo. I want my little mail club mail to feel super cozy and inviting and like a little love letter to life that you also get to read. And so I knew that I wanted to use this label printer, 1, because it's simply more efficient than me handwriting all of the addresses, but 2, because I knew I could get this result, and conveniently, guess what time of year it is? It's Valentine's season. So my dreams came true when I looked on the Munbin website for their sticker rolls to print on labels. They had hearts, they had red hearts, and I was like, this is it. I'm peaking. Like, nothing could be going better. That's great. The thing is, I've never used a label printer before in my life. So that was a steep learning curve, I'll tell you. That was kind of steep for me. The idea that I could design on an app on my phone, also new to me. So I had the printer, and I plugged her in, and I kind of just like put like a little hello world down, and I stuck it in the printer, but I didn't realize there was like guardrails on the printer. So I stuck it in and the printer printed like completely and entirely sideways. But you know what? I printed my first label. I did the scary thing. So I pulled that one off and I went, that's really cool. And I pulled it out. I like got the paper back out. You can just like zoop and it's fine. And then I printed my first label, Pharrell. My ice maker just turned on. Hold on. And as you might have guessed, this scary thing was not so bad once I figured it out. In fact, I was able to print all 14 and format all 14 of my current members' address information and all of that in the Munbin app, save that for later so that I can just pull it up and print it in like 20 minutes. Girl, I was flying high the first week of January. That was insane. And they look so cute. The mail club looks so good. I love the pink envelope. I love the red heart. My do not bend stickers finally make sense thematically with the rest of it. I think it'll be like a really cute way to find your mail probably for the next little while if you're in the club. Second week, took it a little more chill. It's report card season in January for my job. I'm a teacher in the day job. Still got a day job for those who are wondering. Not an artist full-time, still got a day job. So report card season was hot and heavy. I was dying. I was writing like 18 comments a day. I had like 600 comments to do. I'm a prep coverage, art, music, gym, kindergarten teacher. In case you cared about that. Oh, and dance and drama. I apologize. So I had a lot of kids to write a lot of comments about. So that was taking up my time, and I said, you know what, second week, we're still facing a scary, even though we are drowning. This week, second week of January, we researched local mom and pop shops in my area that might be interested in selling artisan goods. That was the whole scary. It was just me and Google and a dream. And I made a little list. I think I made a list of like 10 or so shops in my area that would sell stuff kind of similar to my prints, or maybe even some of my originals, some of my stickers possibly, to email. And went, we'll do that later. We'll email them later. And we will. We'll email them later. And that was a really chill week because I needed a chill week. I needed a nice, simple scary that was still scary, but not so scary, and was attainable based on my needs. And was it something that did need to be done? Probably. I've been meaning to research possibly selling my stuff in brick and mortar short stores for a while now, and I just had been putting it off. Week 3, I was feeling a little bit burnt out from the report cards. I was feeling like I hadn't made art in a long time, which might be true. But nonetheless, week 3, that's how I was feeling. And, you know, I realized there was a gap in my business. I realized that I didn't have any business cards to give out to people. So what if I emailed this mom and pop shop and they said yes? Then what? Is my art just gonna go in there without any branding information or anything like that? What if a person who bought something from there or saw the display from there liked the vibe but didn't have the money right now? What were they gonna do? Enter business card. I designed this business card using my Posca markers. It's all blue like this. And then the back has contact info and things. But I'm really happy with this. It was pretty chill, and the way that I formatted the file on my computer, I am able to change the color of the blue. So if I get sick of the blue, I can make it green, I can make it pink, I can make it orange, I can make it red. I could change the color of the business card. The only thing that will not change, because I don't want it to, is this coffee mug. I like the pop of orange here. I think it would look good with most of the other colors. And I just really appreciate how that looks specifically. So week 3 was business cards, and now if I reach out to a mom and pop shop and they're interested, or I get a customer and they buy something, instead of just getting a sticker branded, they will get a business card as well as a sticker, so that they can call me back, or, well, I guess they can't call me. They can find me and come back if they would like. So that's huge. Week 4, we tried a new medium. Not as scary as you might think, but week 4 I tried a new medium. That was the thing that I did. That was scary. I made this with it, and a couple other pieces that I will not be showing because they may or may not be related to the super secret merchandise of the Mail Club, and I am a firm believer that surprises should remain surprises, and I hate going on the internet and spoiling things for myself, so I didn't want people who were in my Mail Club to come here and see this video and then possibly have their surprise spoiled, because the mail club is a surprise all of the time. But the new medium that I used were these Jupiter Twist Up Bear crayons. I love these things. I think this might be my medium. As some of you know, I love crayon. I use crayon all the time. I think it's a fantastic, approachable medium that doesn't require much setup or tear down, which is huge for me because of my energy levels and everything. These are somewhere between like an oil pastel and a crayon in the way that they react, but they're completely washable and non-toxic, which is cool, and they don't stain anything. They just wash right out. I like that you can hold this without touching any of the waxy bits. That's kind of my biggest gripe with an oil pastel, is that you get covered in oil pastel every time you use them. But these are pretty mess free, and when you run out of product here, you can twist them up quite a ways. I haven't even twisted them up all the way, but you can twist them up quite a ways, which is huge. And then they also have these like anti-roll features in the packaging. This like little bear tail and then little nose kind of makes it so they don't roll anywhere. They're definitely designed for toddlers, but I don't care. I think I might be using these possibly forever. The only gripe that I have with them so far is that they have pretty limited skin tones. There's like one lighter skin tone, a pink tone that kind of works as like an undertone for that, and then it gets pretty dark pretty quick, which is fine. You just have to be aware that you have like 3 possible skin tones, and one is light and one is very much so middle, and the other one is quite dark. But all things considered, that's great. Maybe you just don't make portraits all the time with these. That would be possibly a way around that. So that was my 4th week scary thing, was trying this new medium. I'm really happy with the pieces I made with it. I'm probably going to continue using this medium. It's what I've been reaching for recently, because like I said, it's easier to set up than painting. It's mess free. I can do it at any time of day wearing any clothes, because I have ruined like 3 shirts. Not ruined, I've designated 3 shirts of painting fits only, and I don't think I want to continue doing that to my wardrobe. Thank you for being here if you made it this far. Again, my name is Aiden. I go by Tuesday Enthusiast. I have an art shop called Tuesday Enthusiast Studios. I will link it down below. I'd love it if you like this video and subscribe to my channel if you like the vibes. Please. It does actually help me out, for real though. It helps the algorithm know that this is a good video and then shows it to other people. Yeah, I'll catch you in the next one. The next one will probably be a February vlog, kind of like the January vlog. I think we might need to go through my knitting situation again soon, so stay tuned for those, and I will see you next time. Thanks so much for being here. Bye.